All right, RIN Shinonome, if I'm saying that correctly, I apologize if I'm not. We are going to be doing a build guide for her, starting with her weapon, and then we'll talk about the best Unipart set to put on her. We'll talk about whether you should ascend her to dupe 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, what skills you want to upgrade first, and then I will show you guys potential teams to run this character on. So starting with your weapon options, technically you have 3 options, right? You have the banner weapon, which I actually need to go and ascend this, but you have the banner weapon for the 5-star. You also have a summonable 4-star option, and then you have the defense pass option. The best of the 3 straight up is probably going to be the 5-star summonable weapon, the GG5012. What this does is it's going to give shot damage dealt plus 24%. Keep in mind any of these percentages you see can and probably will be different from your screen to my screen, just depending on where you have a weapon ascended to. Like right now, this weapon is at Ascension stage 2, so keep that in mind. But shot damage plus 24%. If there are 3 or more Kaiju on the field, the equipped units attack plus 30%, which is pretty dang good, very easy to achieve. When the equipped unit activates combat skill or ultimate against a Kaiju that has 50% or less remaining HP, the equipped unit's damage dealt plus 18%. So this is a character who is very much focused on AoE battles and AoE attacks. You probably wouldn't take her into a boss battle as much as some of the other characters, but if you want to clear AoE battles quicker, this is definitely the character for you because the weapon is geared towards AoE and her whole kit is geared towards AoE, so keep that in mind. Now, if you didn't pull the 5-star weapon and you don't have the money to spend on the defense force pass, then you might be trying to pull for this 4-star weapon because let's face it, it's a lot easier to pull a 4-star weapon than a 5-star weapon. It's not completely free to play, but it's a lot more reasonable. So the GG Squirrel 02 gives you attack plus 28%. Once again, that changes depending on your ascension state. After the equipped unit defeats a Kaiju, applies damage dealt plus 21% for 3 turns to the equipped unit. The only bad thing about this is you don't get any real bonuses until you defeat a Kaiju, but then after you defeat one, you get plus 21%, and it is very reasonable to think that you're going to be able to defeat Kaiju with this character because she has like all AoEs. So the idea is your AoE kills one of the Kaiju, there's 2 left over if you're taking on 3 Kaiju at least, and you're going to get that 21% damage boost for the next 3 turns. And the interesting thing about this weapon is I do believe it's going to be stackable. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's stackable where if you kill 1 Kaiju, get that 21% boost, then you kill another Kaiju, get that other 21% boost, you can potentially stack for like a 41% for 3 turns. I'm not 100% sure on that. It doesn't say stackable, so maybe if it doesn't say it outright, that doesn't work. I actually have to do a little bit more research on that in game and find out. But overall, the 5-star weapon is still probably going to be your better choice. Now, if you wanted the Defense Force Pass one, you're going to go into the Defense Force Pass, and at level 30, you do get to pick a free 5-star weapon. The 5-star weapon for her is going to be the GG Lapetus, if I'm saying that correctly. And let's say you're able to get it maxed out, ascended to level 100, stage 4. It is going to take you a couple of rotations of the pass to be able to do this. But say you're able to fully dupe it out, you're going to get crit rate plus 25%. And then each time the equipped unit attacks a Kaiju, applies attack plus 3.2% to the equipped unit, max of 10 stacks. Those stacks are permanent, okay? That is pretty good because you're going to be attacking Kaiju quite frequently and easily, especially with the AoEs. So 10 times 3.2, right? That's going to be at least 30%, a little bit more than that, but at least 30% extra damage. That's pretty good. But at the end of the day, this is just a straight up damage and crit rate buff. So, I mean, realistically, it's good, but it's not super insane. Like there's no additional effects in there that make it super broken. Now if we are going to talk about her Unipart set, right, if I can get back to her here, her Unipart set is going to be the lizard set if you are able. There are other options. I do think the lizard set is the best. Your other option would be like the fungal set. You could always go for the ultimate, but like, which one's the ultimate set? This one's the ultimate set, the ant type. I don't think the ultimate's very beneficial to her, just in general. Some people like getting ultimates faster though, so I'll put that out there. But realistically, I think you're going for the fungal type set or the lizard set. Main difference is that the fungal set is going to give you crit damage percentage, whereas the lizard type set is going to give you crit rate percentage. And so crit damage doesn't mean a whole lot when you don't have great base crit rate, so I don't think this set is going to be super great on her. But other than that, they're both going to increase attack and overall damage for the set bonus, right? So either one's really fine, just depends on which one you want to go for. But overall, the lizard type I think is going to be the better option to go for. In terms of Unipart sets, the effects you get when you have enough stars is, keep in mind this will be different depending on where your stars are at and what level your gear's at. Attack plus 37%, crit rate plus 21%, and then before the equipped unit activates an ultimate, applies damage dealt plus 20% for 2 turns to the equipped unit. This is really good because your ultimate is an AoE, and then you can use your combat skill afterwards, which is an AoE. That can be really solid. You do want to pay attention. I haven't really said this in the other guides because I just thought it was kind of obvious, but some people might not have noticed, so I want to just point this out. You can re-roll what you get right here. So like defense plus 13.1%, ultimate gauge charge rate plus 11% is insanely good. Imagine you got 3 pieces of gear that gave you ultimate gauge charge rate, would be insane, right? Really good for characters. But like this one right here, slash damage dealt is absolutely useless on this character, plus 5.5%, right? Because if I go in and look at her skills, there is no slash damage. That is absolutely doing nothing for me. So in that case, you want to make sure you re-roll and try to get something better. And is that really gonna help me? Okay, let's just redevelop that here. What effect resist? Sure, let's go with that. That'll work fine. Okay, so that's better still than slash damage overall. So just make sure you have the right stats on your Uniparts. Okay. As for Ascension, should you be exposing her to dupe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? At dupe 1, after causing a Kaiju core to be exposed, applies crit rate plus 20% for 2 turns to this unit. That's really good because that means her ultimate is going to allow her to hit more damage with that crit rate. However, I mean, it's not good against a boss, right? But that additional crit rate would be good if like you expose multiple Kaiju cores at once in an AoE battle, then it could be good. So it's meh, honestly. And then her Ascension level 2, when attacking a Kaiju that has 50% or more remaining HP, this unit's damage dealt plus 20%. That's really good. I actually do really like that. That's going to help you whittle down enemies so much faster. At dupe 3, it's the same for everybody. Passive skill and follow-up skill, level plus 2 and max level plus 2. At dupe 4, max stack count of damage dealt buff applied by passive skill plus 2. This is insanely good. This is probably the best one of the best upgrades for her, right? So you definitely, if you're able, want to get her to dupe 4. At dupe 5, you get normal attack, combat skill, and ultimate skill level up by 2 and max level by 2. And then at dupe 6, after activating combat skill, applies crit damage plus 20% for 1 turn to this unit, which is why you want crit rates on your Uniparts, right? To make sure that you're able to actually make use of that. And then this unit's ultimate gauge plus 20. The plus 20 ultimate gauge is also pretty dang good. But overall, if you were to ask me like what dupe level you should aim for, I think it's either 0 dupes or 4 dupes. I don't think like it's necessary to get to 6. I think at 1 and 2, the additional bonuses aren't really worth it. I think at dupe 4, then you have the bonuses of dupe 1 and 2, but dupe 4's bonus is actually huge. So by the time you get to dupe 4, you can probably call it good. That's probably where you want to end up on this character generally if you're just trying to get extra copies. It's kind of a weird place to be, probably one of the weirdest characters. Other characters you were able to stop at like dupe 2, or you had to go all the way to dupe 6 to actually like make it really, really good. But in my opinion, dupe 4 is kind of what you want to aim for on this character, or just don't worry about duping her. It's one of those 2 options, whichever one works better for you. Now, as for skills, we're going to start with the additional passive skills, then we'll talk about the normal attack, combat skill, so on and so forth, and which one I think you should upgrade first. So the Mark of Respect at level 40, each time this unit defeats a Kaiju, ultimate gauge plus 20. So this is good because she's doing a lot of AoEs. That is decent for her. Additional passive skill 2, solid ability. At the start of battle, this unit's ultimate gauge plus 60. So getting her ultimate faster is always a good thing because it's another AoE ultimate. And then at level limit 80, while remaining HP is 70% or more, this unit's attack plus 20%. That's pretty easy to achieve as well. So just an additional 20% for being above 70% HP. Very worth it to get her to level 80. Now, as for her skills, her normal attack deals shot damage equal to 55% of this unit's attack to a single kaiju. Probably the worst skill she has, honestly. Then her skill 2 deals shot damage equal to 64% of this unit's attack to all kaiju, so that's an AoE. Her ultimate deals shot damage equal to 84% of this unit's attack to all kaiju. After attacking, each time this unit destroys a plate, it advances this unit's next action order by 10%. It's another AoE, and it's going to give you an action order faster. It's pretty good. And then Agile Barrage is your follow-up attack. It is another AoE that does 22% damage to all kaiju. And then the Battle Hardened Experience passive, each time this unit attacks a kaiju, applies damage dealt plus 2.4% to this unit, max of 5 stacks. So this is at level 1. When you get out to level 10, that percentage is going to be a lot higher. And then keep in mind, if you're able to dupe her out to dupe 4, like I was talking about, it's going to make it so your max is no longer 5 stacks, but 7 stacks. And that means you're going to be able to do a lot more damage overall when you're doing your AoE combat skill or ultimate. So your number one thing to upgrade here for skills is 110% going to be the passive. Upgrade the passive first. And then this is where it gets kind of tricky. Depending on what you're doing for this character, if you are building her for ultimates, because I did say you could build an ultimate Unipart set, then you also have the ability to get your ultimate quicker here, right? And you could get the dupe 6 and get her ultimate even quicker as well. So if you have this character fully duped out, you have the right Unipart set on her to get the ultimate quicker as well, you should probably dupe out the ultimate first, because that's going to be a lot more damage at a higher percentage than the skill 2. And hopefully you'll be able to just kind of spam ultimates, AoE ultimates with this character, and she could be pretty dang decent. Now, if you're going to go for the lizard set, which I think is the more standard build and the more reliable one, then you're going to go for skill 2 first, because you're going to be using that, your combat skill, a lot more than you're going to be using your ultimate. So in general, there's 2 different ways you can build her. You can go for the passive skill first. That's always going to be first no matter which build you do. And then if you're going for the ultimate build, you're going to go for the ultimate or second. And then if you're going for the standard build, you're going to go for the combat build or combat skill second, right? So basically it's passive skill and then either ultimate or combat skill second, depending on which build you're doing. And then you should do your follow-up skill third, and then your normal attack last. Normal attack should be the very last thing you upgrade, period, because it's not super good. So it's interesting that one of the characters that everybody says is not as good as the others has one of the most unique abilities to build her. Like, you can build her 2 different ways, which is kind of cool. The other characters feel like they're kind of stuck in, like, you have to build them this one way for the most part. Like, you can put different sets on them, but it doesn't really feel like it changes the way the character works. This character feels like, depending on what you do with her, you can build her 2 different ways, which is kind of cool. So with that said, let me show you guys a potential team for her. Okay, here is a team with RIN on it, and I just want to say this is not the be-all end-all team. I say this in every guide, right? Okay, you don't have to run just this team. You can run any team, but this team is good because it has a lot of AoEs, right? Taking advantage of the AoEs is always good, and honestly, if it was up to me, I would probably switch out either Gen or Soshiro in this particular team. If you really want to run Ren, I would switch one of them out for Kikaru here, because Kikaru has the AoE. She also has defense down though on her ultimate. The defense down on her ultimate can be really big in helping with do your overall damage to Kaiju, but this is still an all AoE team right here. And if you really wanted, you could take Isao off the team. You could run all AoE characters if you really wanted to have some fun. This team is going to clear stuff so quickly, right? If you have all these characters, just throw them all on a team and watch them just run through content for you on auto. It's absolutely insane. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you guys did enjoy the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. Peace.